Godfather of Irish Drill. Shout out my boy, Demi TV.
It's Wave God in this motherfucker. Hey, shout my nigga Demi T though.
That song pop like I'm Iggy. All they talking about is last night like I'm Demi. Say you got.
Groupies donated $5. Damn ski pulled the Michael.
Dean TV Cooler merch in the description box. Go copy, son. Click the link in the description box below and support your boy. Dean family, Dean Nation. Today we doing a reaction to In a Nutshell, and it's called "Why Don't We Shoot Nuclear Waste into Space?" Because that's stupid and it's harmful for us, you know. Cause all getting shot into the sky, we just gonna fall back down. You feel me? So simple. Common knowledge, you feel me? Common sense, you feel me? So yeah, I hope you guys like this and enjoy it. You know, see what they point of view will happen. You feel me? And if you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video on all social media and comment below what reaction you want to do next. Check out the original video in the description box below. Roll to 100K million in the building. And no further ado, let's get into the reaction.
The limited edition 12,023 kurzgesagt calendar is here, chewed from us with black holes. Many of you suggested that we look into an idea that sounds reasonable: shooting nuclear waste into space. It's one of those concepts that seems like an easy fix for one of the main problems with nuclear energy. But it turns out this idea is not just bad, but horribly bad, and it gets worse the longer you think about it. Why is that?
Why would you shoot nuclear waste into space? Think about that.
What is nuclear waste?
To infect people?
Nuclear waste is a fuzzy term and comes in categories which vary from country to country. But in general, there are three broad levels. 90% is low-level nuclear waste, tools, gloves, or trash used at a nuclear facility that could be weakly contaminated with some short-lived radioactivity.
Okay.
This stuff is generally safe for normal disposal. 7% is intermediate-level nuclear waste, mostly materials that have been in close proximity to a reactor core long enough to become dangerously radioactive.
Okay.
With proper handling, it's either safely buried or melted down
so gloves and shit is like
mixed into glass or concrete and stored deep underground.
Wait a minute.
So 97% of nuclear
So we got nuclear waste right by us that don't know that shit. That's
waste
crazy.
is similar to toxic byproducts from other industries. Not great, not terrible. We can handle it. The remaining 3% is where our problems begin. High-level nuclear waste is very concentrated spent fuel taken out of a reactor core. Formerly uranium, it's now made of various dangerous and often highly radioactive elements. As a bonus, it's also incredibly hot and not easy to handle at all. This is what we want to shoot into space. All in all, around 440 active nuclear reactors create about 11,000 tons of high-level nuclear waste each year.
That's ridiculous.
Since 1954, we've accumulated 400,000 tons of dangerous radioactive waste. Most countries are dealing with it or not dealing with it and kicking the can.
Like, yo, y'all got all that nuclear waste. For what? It's like they about to go to war or some shit. What the fuck?
For the future.
Yo,
great.
Inky,
So let's launch it into space.
help us. They niggas trying to kill us.
Space is big, and nobody lives there. So it seems perfect for yeeting away this mess. There are a few tiny problems, though. Problem one, stuff ain't cheap. Even though spaceflight is getting more affordable, it's still extremely expensive. Just to get something into low Earth orbit costs on average about $4,000 per kilogram.
Well, damn.
Putting that into perspective, it costs about $1,600 to mine, separate, and...
So you gotta think about this. The taxpayer money going on this shit. This some old bullshit. What the fuck?
1 kilogram
if you working right
fuel,
now,
so
you gotta be like, what the fuck? This is what my tax money gonna put on?
Nuclear fuel for reactors way more expensive and greatly increased the cost of the electricity they produce. To launch one reactor's worth of nuclear waste would cost at least $100 million per year.
Well,
To deal with all the 440 operational nuclear power plants' high-level nuclear waste would cost some $44 billion per year for space launch before packaging, transport, and
so that's why them niggas in debt.
security costs are added.
They spending shit
Okay,
on
let's pretend we
non
don't
shit.
care. Currently, we couldn't shoot all the nuclear waste into space even if we wanted to. There just aren't enough rockets. In 2021, we saw a record 135 launches into space. If we repurposed each of those rockets and filled them all with nuclear waste, the total amount that could be lifted into a low Earth orbit, which is the closest orbit above the atmosphere, is nearly 800 tons.
Yeah, we don't need nothing like that. That'd be like
I've always felt
that
alone in my
nuclear
relationships. I've been looking for a
sanitary
nice guy online
destruction right
forever,
there.
but it's rough
Don't
out
need
there.
that shit.
Then I started using.
Oh nah.
We
Hell
need at
nah.
least closest orbit above the atmosphere is nearly 800 tons. We'd need at least 14 times more rockets to handle just today's nuclear waste, let
Well,
alone
damn.
get rid of the hundreds of thousands of tons in temporary storage. We would need to create entire new space industries to keep up with the demand for
So they
giant,
got that
toxic
much
space trash
nuclear
trucks.
waste
And it gets
they
worse.
created. That's
Problem
fucking
two,
ridiculous.
space is
Like,
hard.
bro, what the fuck?
We only made the calculation for low
Like,
Earth
what
orbit,
is they
where we
doing with all that nuclear waste? Like, what are they sitting on that for? Like, bro, it's that
spend most
plutonium.
of our rockets and satellites. Littering the space around Earth
Plutonium.
with thousands of casks of spent nuclear fuel would be
You
a
motherfucker
nightmare
with
for
the
space
kid
junk management
plutoniums.
and satellite collision avoidance. Worse still, at this altitude, there's still a little bit of atmosphere causing a tiny bit of drag, so we might have nuclear waste raining down from space within just a few years. Experts would call this a huge problem. Clearly, we have to
yeah.
launch our waste further. If we wanted to send it to, perhaps, the moon, we either need way more rockets, or we need to build much bigger ones, making it even more expensive. A single Saturn V, the rocket used by the Apollo program, which cost around $1.5 billion adjusted for inflation per launch, could get about 43.5 tons from the Earth to the moon. So we'd need about 260 Saturn V rocket launches every year. And of course, using the moon as target practice for nuclear waste-tipped rockets kind of makes a huge mess.
Yeah,
So
cause that
may-
nigga Kingu, he gonna be like, what the fuck going on? Y'all, hey yo, I wanted Earth once upon a time ago. Now y'all finna come back and start a war and get that shit. Hey yo,
Don't aim for anything.
chill.
Space is empty.
Y'all better
We
chill,
really
man.
need a
Kingu
target.
come by. Hey,
Shooting waste
they
in any
about, you
random
better chill.
direction
Hey,
is, you
trying to
guessed
let
it,
Kingu
also
out.
a bad idea. Orbits are loops, which
Hey,
means
let
they have a
Kingu
tendency
chill.
to come back
Kingu
to where they
chill
started.
on the moon.
Put enough in the sky in random directions, and you'll get one back eventually.
Like an atom.
So we'd want to
Like,
launch our nuclear waste deep into space, which means we need even bigger rockets that would be even more expensive. Not that we would be completely safe then. Earth might run into these interplanetary caskets at some time in the far future and experience a pretty meteor shower made from radioactive dust.
kamikaze on
How
there,
about
so
we
that's
shoot it into
tough.
the sun? Ironically, the sun is pretty hard to hit. While the sun has very strong
I was
gravity,
gonna do that to the
everything on
sun.
Earth is moving with respect to the sun, including the
respect the
rockets that we
sun.
launch, meaning a rocket would have to
respect it.
cancel out all the orbital
It's as
motion
high-
it has
high
around the
as
sun
fuck there and
so
all
it
that
can
other
stop
shit, but
orbiting
shit.
and fall in.
Leave that shit alone.
Because of
Leave
this,
him
it's
alone.
actually easier to launch a rocket entirely out of the solar
This is the
system
type of moment
than
that
it
be
is to
like
launch it
when
into
you
the
mess
sun.
with a quiet person
But to do
and
either
they
of these
just
things,
get
we
your
need
ass,
even
show
bigger
your ass
rockets,
why they
probably
quiet.
the biggest we've ever built. Nothing works. The thing is, it gets even worse. Problem 3, rockets go brrr. Rocket engineering has taken huge steps since the Apollo era.
So,
We've made
more
them
to the
relatively
story,
safe.
what
We've
you
mostly
basically
replaced the
seem like you're
toxic
trying to tell me
explosive
is
cancer
them niggas
fuels
ain't
of the
go to
past
moon.
decades with much saner mixes of liquid oxygen and hydrogen or kerosene. The newest designs even land themselves so that they can be reused. And yet, out of the 146 launches in 2021, there were 11 failures, which means that a sizable number of our rockets carrying high-level radioactive waste would be exploding on the launch pad, or in the worst case, disassembling at high altitude or crashing from hypersonic speeds. Each failure would be at least equivalent to a mini Chernobyl, but instead of being contained under a slab of concrete, spread throughout the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Radioactive particles could make their way to faraway places by riding on the winds. Most
Yeah.
would fall into the ocean, but some would land on the inhabited parts of the world.
Basically polluting everything.
They could cover farmlands and get concentrated into our food or enter our water supply,
Bill Gates
which is, well, bad. Imagine regular large-scale nuclear disasters happening. People wouldn't be happy. Conclusion and opinion part. Nuclear waste is scary, but the fear of it and horrible ideas like shooting it into space reveals how bad we are at understanding risk, because the largest amounts of radioactive elements like uranium and radon are actually released by coal. Burning millions of tons of coal each year leaves ash as a waste product that includes about 36,000 tons of radioactive materials. Less radioactive than high-level nuclear waste, but there's also a lot more of it, and it's handled way less carefully.
That's wild.
Some of this ash is caught by filters, but most is simply pushed back into leaky mines, shoved into piles exposed to
all
wind,
this waste all over the
poured into
place.
ponds
God
that
damn, you
regularly
motherfuckers raceless.
spilled into rivers and lakes. Living within 1.6 kilometers of an ash pile increases your cancer risk up to 2,000 times over the acceptable limit. And this is on top of other toxic chemicals like heavy metals and, of course, their massive CO2 emissions. And yet, while nuclear energy is flawed and its current form may only be a transitory technology, nuclear power plants are a harder sell than coal. Nuclear waste and the lack of willingness to deal with it are a real issue. It's not insurmountable. There are good methods to handle it, like burying it deep underground or reprocessing some of it into new fuel. But however we ultimately deal with this issue, we hope one thing is clear. Shooting nuclear waste into space is one of the worst ideas ever.
Facts.
Researching this crazy thing, conducting all of these important tests, and of course, creating this video took us around 2,000 hours, which is insane for a YouTube video. And we couldn't do it without you.
You're kind of right, but
if you like what you just saw, you can continue your science journey with one of our products. They're true pieces of kurzgesagt you can do about the world without
it's a promo, so yeah, I hope you guys like that. DN Family, D Nation, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video on all social media and comment below a reaction. Then see you guys next time. Love you guys. I'm out. And follow me on everything on all social medias and share the video on all social media. Comment below what reaction we'll do next. See you guys next time. Love you guys. I'm out.